Prior to Tropical Storm Erika, DOWASCO provided water to 98% of the population of Dominica. And with the completion of the Bells-Penrice-Sylvania water system expected at the end of this month, that would have brought coverage of water throughout Dominica to about 99.5%. Near 100%, and the 5% that would be left are a few isolated cases where persons live in areas that are just difficult to reach. Tropical Storm Erika affected 100% of DOWASCO water systems. In other words, there was nowhere in Dominica that was not affected. We are pleased to report to date that about 59–60% of all these systems have been restored, providing water to about 70% of the population of Dominica at this time. The damages suffered by DOWASCO systems or inflicted through DOWASCO systems were blockage of intakes by heavy boulders and heavy siltation. In certain cases, intakes concrete structures are severely damaged. And that is the case for Water Area 1, for example, that serves the communities from Meru to Castle Comfort, including Roseau and all the environs there, Warner and Campbell. We are happy to report to date that the intake at Springfield has been cleaned totally. We had to use, in some cases, 24 men getting into the river since heavy equipment could not operate there. And water has been restored in Water Area 1. So areas from Meru to Castle Comfort, Lower Castle Comfort, I must say, is having water at this time. Part of the problem we are having in this water system is the indiscriminate use of fire hydrants and standpipes around the city, in Canefield, in Newtown, where persons indiscriminately connect hoses to those pipes and wash down their yards and wash down the streets in spite of our appeal not to do so. We understand the need for the city to be cleaned and for their homes to be cleaned, but we also understand there's a greater need for persons to be able to get some water at their homes. And so we have appealed to the public not to engage in this indiscriminate use of the standpipes and fire hydrants. In higher areas as Santa Roma, we have been using our water truck to distribute water to the communities, but I'm happy to say that we have taken certain measures as of last night by shutting down most of the system to allow for the buildup of water that we could reach the higher elevations, and as of today, we were able to send pipe-borne water to the community of Santa Roma. We'll continue to truck water to other areas as Fortney, Upper Kings Hill, where as of now we still have some difficulties reaching. Among the systems that we have been able to restore is the Bellevue-Chopin system, restored to 100%. Cassie Bruce, 95% as at this time. Clifton, Capuchin, Cottage, and these areas have been restored, approximately 95% restored. Cochrane has been restored 100%. All of the Kalinago territory is now receiving 100% water coverage. Wharton Waven has been restored using the old Wharton Waven intake, but the Wharton Waven system prior to the storm served Wharton Waven, Trafalgar, Focani, Shufford. We are now working on the system, on an old system to restore an old system to serve Trafalgar. And we are anticipating that by Sunday of the 1st of next week, this weekend, Sunday, we would be able to serve Trafalgar, Shufford, and Focani with some water. Full restoration will not happen for some time, but at least people would be receiving some water by the 6th. The La Plaine system has been restored with the help of the community, and for that we are very, very grateful. The area of Layu has been restored 100%. Loubier Wallhouse system, Point Michel, was the very first to be reinstated, and that is still doing very, very well, and we are extending this to serve the people of Leopoldville, About 50% of these people are being served as we speak. The paybush system again was restored with the help of the villagers, for which we are very, very grateful. DOWASCO, however, had to go in there and ensure the integrity of the system and extend the system to serve the people of Mopark and as far as Thibault. Penville reinstated 100% with the assistance of the community. Community members were able to retrieve the pipes and began even joining those pipes before DOWASCO got there. Portsmouth and surroundings, 100% reinstated using the old water intake. As you may be aware, prior to the storm, we had just completed the installation of a new water system for the West Coast from Capuchin to Salisbury, using two intakes, one on the Picard River and one on the Coulibistrie River. Both of those new intakes were taken out of commission by the tropical storm. Coulibistrie, I must say at this time, there is real difficulties there, and we cannot say just yet how soon that system will be reinstated. However, Picard, we are working on Picard with the assistance of ACE Engineering, and that new intake will be reinstated soon, and hopefully we'll be able to serve areas of Coulibistrie and Coulibistrie not too long from now. Soufriere Scott said 100% coverage again, and Thibault and Dodan has been reinstated, as I indicated. Warner, we're able to pump water to Warner as of yesterday. The people at Warner are now receiving water again. Campbell, we have pumped water to Campbell. The storage tank is filled, and as of late this afternoon, we're repairing 2 leaks so that we will open the system to serve the people. So I'm sure before we leave here tonight, the people of Campbell would be receiving water. Good Hope, Mapo, Tranto, St. Pidit, Soufriere, all these areas are receiving water from DOWASCO. Granfer, again, with the community assistance, people have been receiving water, people have been served. A section of the Monjon pipeline was washed away, that has been replaced, and about 90% of Monjon is now receiving water. In the Granby community, we are again having some difficulties, and a section of that community is being served from Hagley. So we would say that 35% of all of Granby is being served at this time. That section represents about 35% of the Granby population. We are, however, very pleased to report that with the assistance of the Red Cross, we may be able to serve the upper reaches of Granby and Tetmon using temporary storage tanks, transporting some water, and installing a temporary water plant which would treat water and distribute to the communities of Granby. The newly constructed Benz intake and pipeline suffered severe damages, but we have begun work on that system, and by Sunday we are hoping that that system will again be serving the people of Benz, Anzime, and Ansolda. We have completed repair works in the Calibishie area, and by the 5th of this month, which is Saturday, the people from Calibishie should be receiving water. In fact, we were hoping to have done that today, but there seems to be some airlock on the system, and once that is addressed, the people will be receiving water again. There are, well, the community of Copthall should receive water tonight from WA1. Just a while ago, the men were completing a pipeline link to WA1 so that we could serve them from the Roseau water system. There are some areas that we have not made much progress, and these are Bagatelle, Forceja, Pidit Savan, Dubic areas. As a result of access, we could not have done very much there. Buetica and Delis. But I'm happy to report that a team from DOWASCO visited Delis with the use of the Venezuelan helicopter today, and the report is very good that there's no damage to the intake, no damage to the pumps or to the pipelines. And so once the silt is cleared, we can begin pumping water to the community of Delis. So we anticipate within 2 days that will be done. Coulibistrie, Bioche, Dubla, communities heavily affected. We will be in a position to restore water to Dubla and Bioche within a few days, and we are anticipating by the 7th of September, water will be restored in this community. Coulibistrie also by the 7th for makeshift intake. Coulibistrie, it's not that hopeful for Coulibistrie, but we are hoping that we'll be able to serve from the Picard intake once the intake is up and running and the river crossings leading to Coulibistrie could be accessed. Girardel also suffered significant damages. We have to construct a route to access the intake and realign some lengths of pipes along the pipe route. But work on that system has begun. We have been able to get a heavy equipment in there, and we're hoping sometime early next week we could reinstate that system and the people of Girardel would begin to receive water. Major difficulties in the area of Wesley, Woodford Hill, and Marigot. Where used to be a road is now a serious gully, and several lengths of 10-inch ductile iron pipes in the valley have been dislodged. But we are hoping that we can do something for that community by Monday the 7th of September. Salisbury, we met with a delegation from the Salisbury community this morning, and the villagers are offering their assistance to get pipes to the intake to assist us in doing a temporary intake, which we intended to do. And so we are hoping that by the 6th we can restore some water to the community of Salisbury. DOWASCO, as you're aware, is water and also sewage. Our sewage network has also suffered some damages in Roseau, in Canefield, and in Jimmet. We are now in the process of replacing the pipeline under the Bath Estate Bridge. That's the sewer pipeline under the Bath Estate Bridge that has been dislodged, about 7 lengths of pipes there. We are now 50% complete as we speak, and hopefully sometime tomorrow we would see the completion of that sewer pipeline. This we look forward to because it would at least minimize the contamination in the Roseau River so that even persons downstream could use the water in the Roseau River after that is completed. Attempts to access the sewer outfall in Jimmet proved very difficult, but efforts are continuing, and by tomorrow we hope that that can be unblocked and the Jimmet sewer system will be able to function. The sewer lines at Canefield have been cleared and the system is operational as we speak. And the sewer lines adjacent to the Dominica China Friendship Bridge are to be repaired, and this we are waiting the assistance of the Ministry of Public Works due to the sensitive nature of the road and bridge network there. So all in all, DOWASCO is happy that with the assistance of the government of Dominica, with some persons from the community, with our friends from Venezuela, and we are also getting some assistance from the British to do some works in the Dubla, Bioche, Coulibistrie and Coulibistrie area, and also the Wesley Woodford Hill area, that water will be restored to all communities within a reasonable length of time. And we are just asking for the patience of the community persons who have not yet been able to receive water, just to bear it a little longer, do whatever is necessary, and water will be restored shortly. We want to thank the men and women of DOWASCO who have been out there night and day, midnight on the fields, in water, trying to restore water. It's a tremendous effort for which we are very, very appreciative. Again, thanks to all.